seen a video. I haven't seen it.
I can't imagine me or any other judge throwing out a case on the basis that they should have administered a blood draw as opposed to a breathalyzer if the officer was told and the court believes that it's truthful testimony that the defendant told the officer he's not diabetic. I can't imagine me throwing out a case saying, oh, it's a miscarriage of justice. He should have been a mind reader. He should have been Houdini. He should have been able to read everything.
Nobody says throw it up.
All right. People against Norbert Pastor, 25T644-584. Good morning, Mr. Clovis. Your appearance?
Bill Colovis, P3434 on the defendant.
Mr. Pastor,
The defendant here. Oh, here it is.
your name, sir?
Good morning, Woodruff, Pastor.
Okay, Mr. Bologna.
Anthony Bologna, City Front.
So you want to argue your motion now?
Sure.
I don't need to hear about the one with, how do I say this? I'm not, I would not have scheduled this for hearing at all if it was still over the motion to withdraw the plea.
It was a motion to withdraw. The plea was denied.
Correct.
It's a motion for reconsideration.
But you filed a motion for reconsideration. I didn't know that you were asking for a Ginther hearing before. You mentioned something about ineffective assistance and
Right.
go ahead. Why don't you proceed?
We would like a Ginther hearing concerning this because on October 7th of last year, Bobbins's being represented by the prior attorney. He had a medical consultation quite in depth, and it does show the diabetes he suffered from. And I guess ultimately is this, they're claiming by hearsay police report that he said he wasn't a diabetic when asked on the road or I don't know where that they allege. Even if that was true, we deny it, but even if it was true, it's a manifest injustice that he pled guilty, that it was artificially high, his blood alcohol level. So in other words, if DNA is somebody's convicted of murder, right? And DNA later shows something, well, you know what? It's not a manifest injustice. I understand that that's the.
Do you have a medical record that tells me, a doctor that tells me that he's a diabetic?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is it saying a report or am I going to be asked to interpret numbers here?
No. That he's a pre-diabetic. And Your Honor, I'm a pre-diabetic and I have to take a shot and 3 pills every day. So I don't know where they come up with the word pre, but they called me that too. I guess after a certain number, you become a diabetic officially. But I take Ozempic and I take 3 other pills for my pre-diabetes.
I know, but a lot of people take Ozempic just because they want to lose weight too.
It ain't losing weight. Mine was almost going into shock when I was in Chicago about 2 years ago.
Well, if this is a report dated October the 7th,
Right.
what is this medication that he's on?
What kind of medication?
Metformin.
For what?
Metformin.
What's that for?
Diabetes. I'm on 1,000 milligrams daily for the last 2 years. We had produced last time the prescription history from Myers.
Have you seen this, Mr. Bologna?
I have not yet.
The pre-diabetes. That doesn't mean he's a diabetic though, right?
Your Honor, I'm a pre-diabetic and I have to take the shot
Why would he have told the police officer he wasn't diabetic?
first. It's a police report hearsay. Nobody's testified to that. And the bottom line is, Judge, respectfully, if they're inaccurate results, that's a miscarriage of justice. If they're they can't do that test.
Well, wait a minute. You mean I could, if I'm diabetic, I could tell them I'm not diabetic, have them lure them into giving me an intoxilizer and then come back and argue that the intoxilizer results are invalid because you bought my lie and you relied on it and you didn't get a blood draw instead?
Judge, I doubt very much that he knew scientifically that he can't take breathalyzer. His attorney didn't know, and it was never brought up at all.
Because why would a lawyer bring it up when their client told the officer they weren't diabetic?
Your Honor, that's hearsay right now.
All right.
You're relying 100% that the officer said that.
Well, who are you relying on? You're handing me a police report you're handing me a medical report that says pre-diabetic. You say he's a diabetic, he says he's a diabetic now, even though apparently he told the police. So the police are either lying in a police report, in which case they should be kicked off the force.
Okay.
Who's saying he's a diabetic? This says pre-diabetes. What information do you have to tell me that the lawyer should have pursued that?
Pre-diabetic is like diabetic. That's what I am.
Well, you're saying that. I don't know that to be true.
Making it up.
Well, I don't know if you are or not.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Well, you guys are coming in now saying there's diabetes involved, and I don't have any evidence of that.
You got it in front of you right now.
It says pre-diabetic.
Uh,
What do you have to say, Mr. Bologna?
Your Honor, if the request is for a Ginther hearing at this point, it's focused on ineffective assistance of counsel. All we have to work off is what we have in the report and what was done up until now. The report says that he stated he was not diabetic. So the question is, was there ineffective assistance of counsel? The counsel is reviewing that report. I can only assume that he's not going to ask me follow-up questions as it relates to diabetes. So unless there's something that states where the client presented prior counsel with a statement saying I'm diabetic or medical records to prior counsel stating that he's diabetic, I think it's safe to assume that there was effective assistance of counsel in this whole process.
His prior counsel didn't even know what diabetes does or pre-diabetes.
Who said that?
Hearing, I'll have a doctor sitting up there during the Gunther hearing and the former attorney. The results are just, they're void. We can't say, well, you said something to the officer, so we're gonna put everything aside.
Okay, so I just want to ask you this question. If the officer comes in here and tells me, Judge, unequivocally, the defendant told me he was not diabetic. How, and if I believe that officer's testimony, you still think it's ineffective assistance of counsel because the defense lawyer didn't pursue an avenue when the officer had been told by the defendant, according to the officer, that he was not diabetic, and therefore that the defense simply could lure somebody in by saying, no, I'm not diabetic, wink, wink, and then go back and say, I was diabetic and the results are skewed. I can't even imagine a lawyer trying to argue that his client's diabetic if the officer was told by the defendant, if the officer was told by that, you're right, there are mistakes, that he was not diabetic.
He's got medication with it. And it's on the report, his medication.
Which report? The medical report or the police report?
I believe both.
I didn't ask you that. What report are you referring to? The medical?
That report
The
has,
medical report.
and I'm sure the inventory, and I don't have the inventory report, has what was on it. I don't have an inventory report. I don't.
What else? Anybody else want to help me out here and tell me why I'm thinking incorrectly? Mr. Bologna, Mr. Colovis?
A hearing would resolve, so it'd be a very short hearing.
You're gonna bring in the doctor.
I'll bring in his treating physician, how to make up one. And how long he's been on it. So what I'm saying is, let's just say that the officer heard that my client was not a diabetic. Let's just say it. Does that mean that test results go in? Absolutely not. You gotta lay foundation. And one of the foundations is, if you're diabetic and you blow.
If you're conceding that he told the officer he was not diabetic, are you conceding that?
No, I'm saying what, the worst case scenario, that's. I haven't seen a video, I haven't seen it.
I can't imagine me or any other judge throwing out a case on the basis that they should have administered a blood draw as opposed to a breathalyzer if the officer was told, and the court believes that it's truthful testimony, that the defendant told the officer he's not diabetic. I can't imagine me throwing out a case saying, oh, it's a miscarriage of justice. He should have been a mind reader. He should have been Houdini. He should have been a read everything.
Nobody says throw it up. What we're saying is those results, if all true, the breathalyzer results are excluded. And now they can try their case the old fashioned way.
Well, that's what I meant, throw out the results.
Correct. That's like not watching a person for 15 minutes, they regurgitate and then they blow.
No, that's a lot different than somebody telling an officer, I'm not diabetic, and for the officer, well, I'm gonna pretend you are. I'm gonna pretend everybody's diabetic because they could be lying to me. They could be luring me in. I'll give you your hearing, but I hope you're not wasting the court's time.
I will.
You subpoena the officer, Mr. Bologna. I know you said at one point he doesn't work for the department. I want that officer here. And I want to hear testimony. But I can tell you, honestly, Mr. Kolovis, I can't imagine any judge worth 13 cents throwing out a breathalyzer because they administered a breathalyzer to a diabetic who happened to tell them that they weren't diabetic.
So if the breathalyzer was not working properly,
Did you hear what I said?
you leave the results in.
If I administered a breathalyzer because the defendant told me he was not diabetic, yes, I would.
He also told him he wasn't drunk. It was for that.
Come on. I'm not going to argue about it with you. I'm just telling you. I have a feeling there's more to this, but I'll listen to it. We'll have a hearing. When are we going to do the hearing? I want to do this quickly.
Yes.
How do you want to do it? 2 weeks, Judge, or how?
Yes. May 7th.
May 7th, you want to do 11
May
o'clock?
7th. Can we do it later in the morning? Because I'm in Ann Arbor again. That's where I was this morning. I have to drive right back there.
All right, let's do May 7th. Yeah, 11 o'clock.
Can we do a, what? What is it? Lunch? One. What?
You're going to
May
subpoena.
2nd to May 10th, the family is on vacation.
To where?
For what? Why don't you tell the court?
They're going down to Florida for conference.
I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. I needed to request a time between May 2nd to the May 10th. I tried to voice.
You got to keep your voice up.
I'm sorry, sir. I needed to request time to the May 2nd to the May 10th.
There's a medical conference.
I told my doctors for it. I'm sorry about that.
Let's.
You want to do it before then?
You going to be able to get somebody here before then, Mr. Bologna?
I have no clue on the officer's availability here, so I'll try my best.
What days?
Why don't you go call him real quick? See if you can get a hold of him.
I'll see.
Because I don't want to put this off to the 21st. I really don't. Can you,
Thinking next Thursday?
if everybody's available, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
Your Honor, too.
That's April 30th, right?
Yes. Being that this is a Ginther hearing, though, the hearing is to determine ineffective assistance of counsel. The concern is we're gonna get into the weeds and create some type of record now as it relates to evidence that wasn't even put forth before this court in consideration of how we got here.
That's the effective assistance of counsel.
Well, my view is should be more focused on, did counsel even know about this diabetes? Is there any evidence that counsel was aware of. this
Well, of course, that's all part of it.
I guess we'll find out.
They have to prove essentially that the defendant is diabetic. It was conveyed to defense counsel. Defense counsel didn't pursue any kind of defense, period. That's generally speaking, but that's what they're going to have to prove. I think your point in your brief is well taken. Why I'm so frustrated is because I just can't imagine somebody, a lawyer, reading in a police report that his client admitted that he was not diabetic, or at least told the police he was not diabetic, and then faulting the lawyer for not pursuing a claim that the intoxilizer or breathalyzer shouldn't have been administered because he's a diabetic. I can't imagine it. I can't imagine somebody lying to the police about whether or not they're a diabetic. And even if he wanted to come in and claim that he was diabetic, if the officer's testimony is to be believed, let me be clear about this, how am I going to find that there's ineffective assistance of counsel? That being said, let's figure out what day we're going to do it. I will honor your client's ability to leave the state between May the 2nd and May the 10th.
How about 4/29 as well? Next Thursday.
I'll tell you what, I'll make it. Am I good that time, Heather?
On which date, Judge?
April 29th at 11.
Let me look at our docket.
Is that the 29th?
It's a Wednesday.
That's a
That's a
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Let me just check something.
Thirtieth is what I thought.
Yeah. Are you good at 11 on that day?
But, yeah,
Well, you're here with Judge Hessen though.
I'll be here.
Why don't we
You-
do it?
We can
You
it.
do have a trial at 11 on the 30th,
What kind?
a domestic violence.
Let's do it at 1 on the 30th.
That'd be perfect.
Now, here's the thing though. If either one of you can't get your officer here, can't get the doctor here, then we're going to have to adjourn it. So you guys can be big boys and figure out a time with my judicial clerk, okay?
That's great.
April 30th at 1, okay?
Thanks. Sir.
Thank you. This Joffrey, Francisco, Alamoto, Santana. This is 26T6477665A and B.
And good morning, James Law, 30720. To be here, Mr. Sims.
All right, Ms. Villarreal, your name again?
Yes, Your Honor, Evelyn Villarreal, certified court interpreter, C3822.
She's always so pleasant here, Mr.
Absolutely.
Huh? I mean, if I could spend my whole life around it in this building, around people that kind and considerate, she's very nice. She's already sworn to an oath. So, Mr. Santana, tell me your name, please.
Santana, dígame su nombre, por favor.
Yo prefiero
Joffrey Francisco Alamoto Santana.
All right, so as I understand it, Mr. Schloff, your client will plead guilty to no operator's license on person. Well, first of all, he stands mute and waives formal reading, right? And now he's going to plead to no ops on person with the suspend to be dismissed.
Correct.
And then he's going to also plead responsible to using a handheld device while operating a motor vehicle. True?
Yes, it is. I
Yes.
explained to Ms. Wright and penalties.
Is that what you want to do, sir?
¿Y eso es lo que usted quiere hacer, señor? Yes.
If you plead guilty to no operator's license on person, that is a misdemeanor. The possible penalties are up to 100 fines, 90 days jail, costs are all those. Do you understand that?
Sépase que usted se declara culpable de no tener licencia de su persona. Esto se considera un delito menor, con multas de máximo de $100, más $90 posible en la cárcel máximo, más costos de la corte. ¿Comprende ustedes?
Sí.
Yes.
Did you go over these rights on this advice of rights form with Ms. Villarreal?
¿Usted realizó estos derechos que están aquí en este formulario con la señora Villarreal? Yes.
Did she read them to you and did you understand them?
¿Y ella se los leyó a usted y usted los entendió?
Sí.
Yes.
If you plead guilty, you're giving up all of these rights and we are not going to have a trial of any kind. You understand that?
Y si usted se declara culpable, usted renuncia a todos estos derechos. Y usted no va a tener un juicio de ningún tipo. ¿Comprende usted eso?
Sí.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
And you understand that there could be potential immigration consequences as a result of this plea.
Y comprende usted que como resultado de esta declaración puede que usted tenga posibles consecuencias inmigratorias.
Sí.
Yes.
Do you still wish to plead guilty?
¿Y usted aún quiere proceder a declararte culpable? Yes.
To the charge no valid operator's license on person, how do you plead?
Así que al cargo de que usted no tenga su licencia de conducir válida contra usted, ¿cómo se declara usted? Guilty.
Were you operating a motor vehicle on March 3 of 26 at 10:55 in the morning on Fort near Van Horn and Trent?
Y declaró cierto que usted iba manejando un vehículo motorizado el 3 de marzo del 2026 a las 10:55 de la mañana por cerca de la calle de Fort y Van Horn en la ciudad de Trenton. Yes.
Did you have a valid operator's license on your person?
En este momento, una licencia válida de conducir coches. No.
Are you on probation or parole?
Y en este momento tiene usted libertad condicional o libertad a prueba en esta forma. No.
Anybody force you to plead guilty?
¿Y alguien no ha forzado usted que se declare culpable?
No.
No.
And to the charge of using a handheld device while operating a motor vehicle, mobile device, how do you plead, responsible or not responsible?
Ya sabe de que usted estaba manejando mientras tenía en su mano un dispositivo móvil. ¿Cómo se declara usted responsable o no responsable? Responsible.
All right. I'm going to accept your plea of guilt to no ops. I'm going to accept your plea of responsibility to using a handheld device while operating a motor vehicle, mobile device. And I'm going to dismiss on motion of the prosecutor the drive while suspended or unlicensed charge. I'm ready for sentence.
Así que acepto su declaración de culpable de que no tenía una licencia de conducir en su persona. Acepto también su declaración de responsable al cargo que tenía un dispositivo en la mano, es decir, un teléfono, mientras iba manejando. Y debido a la moción de la fiscalía, desestimo el cargo original, estaba manejando sin licencia.
All right. Anything you would like to say?
No.
How's its record? All right. 50 fines, 50 costs, 75 victim's rights fee, $50 justice assessment, 225
Muy bien, así que $50.
or 30 days,
$50 en multa, $50.
200 on the using a handheld device. Don't be doing that, please. I see people traveling all over the road that are doing that. 425 is your total. Can you pay that now?
¿Puede usted pagar $250 ahora? Yes.
You're all set. Ms. Villarreal, thank you so much. Thanks a lot, counsel. Good luck to you, young man. I wish you well. Thank you.
Your Honor, I'd like to mention to the court, I did have 2 other cases scheduled for 9:30. They don't appear to have come today.
Yeah, I was told that. I'll just issue warrants. If they show this late, they're gonna have a problem with me anyways.
Then the interpreter.
Miss, were
Yeah.
they both with Judge McNally or do you have one with Judge Hessen too? I know we had one other one. Or were they both with Judge McNally?
Both with Judge McNally. I do have on another date that's coming up a case with
Oh.
McNally and Judge Hessen. Maybe that's.
Okay, I'm getting them confused. Thank
What city
you.
were those with? Do you remember?
I believe they were all Trenton.
Can you write up the warrants for me real quick, Mr. Bologna, while I finish this up, and then we'll do that motion? Yeah, there's apparently a couple where the defendant didn't show up. That Ms. Villarreal was appointed on. They were supposed to be here at 9:30, so
Okay.
if you can write those up and send them in, I'll take care of that, and we'll get going on that motion. Thank you so much.
Judge. I was in
Your
Harbor.
Honor.
They're waiting for me to get back there, so.
Nathaniel David Hayes, 25T643-636. Where's Mr. Hayes at? Is he here?
In this courtroom, the judge carefully listened to every detail before reaching a decision. The court showed patience, fairness, and respect for both sides, while ensuring that accountability remained at the center of justice. The judge's words reflected the importance of responsibility, self-control, and respect for others. Rather than acting on emotion, the court relied on facts, evidence, and the rule of law. This case serves as a reminder that justice is not only about punishment, but also about protecting victims, encouraging accountability, and maintaining public trust. The courtroom once again demonstrated why fairness and law matter in society.
What started as a divorce battle turned into a shocking courtroom confrontation. Attorneys accused Mr. Bates of secretly creating an undisclosed account, purchasing property with cash, and spending large amounts of money without the court's permission. The allegations didn't stop there. The court heard claims that these transactions were never revealed during discovery, raising serious questions about transparency and honesty. Lawyers argued that marital funds were used for personal expenses and legal fees, while important financial information remained hidden. As the accusations mounted, the courtroom focused on one key issue, whether critical assets and money had been deliberately concealed.